Hi, I'm Michelle, and this is The Other Side of Misery. I wanted to begin here with something small, something ordinary. Earlier tonight, I was sitting in my living room after a long week. I lit my favorite scented candle, pine. The sound of the dryer was buzzing in the background, and I had my freshly cleaned, soft, white, fuzzy blanket underneath me. I was tired. I am still tired. The kind of tired where your body just wants to sit still for a moment or for a whole weekend. There were no thoughts running through my mind, just this quiet, almost zen-like spaciousness. The candlelight glowed warm and orange in the dark room. Nothing too dramatic, just a Friday night at the end of a long week. Just the world doing what it does. And I felt it, that subtle, invigorating hum of electricity in my veins that kind of awakens you. That feeling that this right here, this is really living. It's that reminder that meaning is hidden inside the smallest, most seemingly unremarkable moments of our lives sometimes. That life is made up of all these ordinary moments, and that each one is precious. That none of them have to be perfect, and that we have this ability to use those moments, to hold them like clay and shape them if we want. This idea, this sacred ordinary, has saved me more times than I can count. Or maybe it hasn't saved me. Maybe it is me, or at least it is me so far. And it's part of why I wanted to make this podcast, because so often we imagine meaning as something grand or triumphant, some destination, some revelation. It sounds like some big unattainable thing, like the meaning of life, you know? But the truth is, most of life happens in the in-between, in that small moment at the table or in your car or in the grocery store. And those moments, they matter. So let me tell you a little bit about why this show is called The Other Side of Misery. It's a catchy title, huh? Well, we seem to be on this cultural pursuit of happiness, striving for a life that feels good, trying to escape or avoid the heavy bits. And honestly, biologically, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, what organism seeks out pain? And I'm definitely not suggesting we humans be the first. But reflecting on it, I wonder if happiness is the right goal or the only goal to keep in mind. Because in all candidness, there is just so much we cannot control in life, just realistically. Pain, hardship, suffering, illness, death, grief, war, depression, anxiety, heartbreak, discrimination, misery. They are as inescapable a part of being alive as the hum of a dryer in the background while you light a candle at the end of a long week before collapsing on the couch. So, what do we do when pain is a somewhat guaranteed part of life? How do happiness and pain live together? I think that there is more to pain than we think. I think we're used to touching a hot stove and realizing, wow, that is hot and it hurts. I don't want to do that again. And then we never want to come near the stove again. But what if the stove is where we can cook, where we can warm our hands by a fire, where we can make s'mores inside the house? What else exists in the flame that burns us beyond just that ouch response? I guess being curious about all that exists in the harder parts of life is where I start. Curious to see what else lives there in the misery. For me, misery has never been just this theoretical thing. And if you're here listening to me, I'm guessing you've felt it too. I've lived with many manifestations of misery, some that stay, others that come and go, like the weather. I've spent seasons of my life feeling hollowed out and other seasons feeling so alive I could burst. And somewhere in all of that, I realized that the only goal can't just be happiness. Life is not just about attempting to escape suffering or outrunning it, because is that even possible? I personally don't think so. I don't think any of us can arrive to the end of our lives completely unscathed. So maybe the goal should be the thing that exists in the good and in the bad times. Maybe the goal should be the thing that gives the good time weight and buoys me in the bad times. So maybe the goal should be to seek a life of meaning or purpose or eudaimonia, depending how you want to pronounce it. And it can be harder to get there than we think. I think a lot of us get stuck in the hard parts. It hurts too much to see anything but the pain, or we only know how to put our hands directly on the stovetop and we're constantly getting burned. So I guess if we look at this idea of the other side of misery, it's this place where we learn what to do with the flame of the stovetop without just hurting ourselves. Maybe then the other side of misery is rich and deep and vast and ever expanding. But it's also accessible in the small moments. It's those little pockets of beauty that appear while you're still hurting. Or it's the nuance inside the hurt itself. And we can find that when we meet the pain with curiosity and openness, listening to the whole message, not just the ouch part, but the, oh, wow parts too. Like with grief, there is the pain and ache of grief, and it's there, and I'm never going to pretend that it's not there. But alongside that immense pain, there's also some immense, beautiful love kind of curled inside it, like fingers wrapped around your hand. So I guess it's about seeing both, not eliminating either side of the spectrum, a hyper realism, not an optimism or pessimism, not leaning too far one way or the other, just seeing all that is there. Maybe it's also the way wonder sneaks in when you didn't ask it to, just by noticing the things that make you feel connected. Or it's the courage of staying alive to your own experience. It's the choice to live alongside your sorrow instead of waiting to live until it's gone. So this is a podcast about that, about what it means to live deeply, not perfectly, not brightly all the time, certainly not happily all the time, but intentionally, thoughtfully, joyfully, even deeply, to feel your feelings as they are, to think and feel at the same time, because honestly, I don't know how to separate those two things. To let your mind stay curious and your heart stay open, even when both are tired, and honestly, most especially then. To live a life that is intentional, honest, a little messy, and very human. And I want to say this clearly in episode 1, so take note. This is not a self-help show. This is not therapy. It is not prescriptive. I don't have the answers. I won't pretend to. I should repeat that again in case someone wasn't listening. I do not have the answers, and I will not pretend to have the answers. I don't even know if there is a single answer to what it means to live a good life. I'll say this is a big part of what I research in my PhD program right now, but I don't have an answer for you. I don't know if I'll ever really have just one answer for you. This is a podcast about how I go about finding meaning in my own life rather than a prescription on how we should all go about living a good life. I don't know if there is a one-size-fits-all approach here. Maybe there is, and we can discover it together. But for now, I think the living of a good life for me is in the questioning, in the exploration, in the turning over of stones inside us. We find our own answers, and those answers will change. So I'm not here to give you steps or strategies or anything resembling a 10-point plan, because being human isn't a project to optimize, at least not here in this space with me right now. It's an experience to inhabit. I'm not here to fix you. I'm definitely not here to fix myself in front of you. I don't think we need to be fixed. I'm just here to ask questions, to wonder out loud, to share the things that move me, confuse me, things that have broken me open, things that have put me back together, to walk through meaning and show you how I do it. And to hold in mind that everything I say here is a living thought. My beliefs are always changing, thank God. My ideas move like weather systems, clouds shifting, sunlight breaking through, storms rolling in and out. So, in a way, recording these thoughts, these clouds, it turns these ephemeral little moments into statues, into something that sounds more certain than it is. So please take anything and everything I say with a grain of salt, with the understanding that I am a person in motion, just like you. If something resonates, take it. If it doesn't, let it drift away. I'm not here trying to build a doctrine. I'm trying to build a conversation. And maybe that's all this podcast really is. A living conversation about meaning, big feelings, psychology, philosophy, anthropology, sociology, academia, neuroscience, illness, joy, wonder, spirituality, the body, the mind, the soul, the psyche, the spirit, all of it braided together in the only way I know how. So, welcome. Wherever you're listening from, your bedroom, your car, the bus, the shower, some late night walk, I'm really glad you're here. And I'm glad we get to do this together. So let's see what might be waiting for us on the other side of misery. It's like almost 1 a.m. I didn't realize this would take so much time. Maybe there'll be a bloopers reel at the end of every blah, 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 blah. Why am I doing this again? Because I care. Why do I care? It's a great question. Honestly, that could probably be a whole episode. Why do we care? Why do I care? Barely even a choice. Okay. Episode 1. Hi. Hi. Hello. Howdy ho. Hello. La, 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 la. Wow, I am made for podcasting. Welcome to my podcast. I'm turning into Jim Carrey. Oh my God. Okay. Hello there. That's terrible. I hate that. Okay. That's not even me. Who was that? Someone possessed me for a moment there. Okay. Now for real. You better have enough for a bloopers little bit at the end because I think that's what we should do. My microphone smells like pine. That's lovely. Oh, it's probably because I was storing it in the same box where I had a pine candle. This world. It's a remarkable world. Okay. I am so tired. It has been a week, guys. It's been a life. It's really been a life. It's well, now it's Saturday. Oh my God. My birthday is soon. My birthday is soon. I'm going to be 30. Oh my God. All right. I got to get this podcast recorded before I turn 30. So, hi. Hi. Gosh, I feel like I've been talking to you for a while. It's hard to like reintroduce myself, but let me try. Hi. I'm Michelle. Oh, I hate that.